In a nondescript building on the outskirts of Fort Wayne, Indiana, Ed Foss is on a personal mission. He's building a collection of some of the most original low-mileage Corvettes on the planet. And he's also trying to see that he never again makes the mistake he made a dozen years ago. That mistake involved buying his first collector vet. What did he know about Corvettes in 1997?
Absolutely nothing.
To prove it, he bought a red 66 Roadster that turned out to be worth about $20,000 less than he had paid for it.
Being a novice, and I think this happens a lot, is that people buy cars under somebody's recommendation or whatever somebody tells you, but not knowing anything about it, basically you got wamboozled.
And like most of us, Ed Foss is not a guy who likes to be wamboozled. Then he realized knowledge is power, and he decided to take a studied approach to collecting Corvettes. But first things first with the 66.
Well, I directly put it in the garage, and it sat in the garage for about a year. And every time I walked out in the garage to see that car, I got, I was not too happy about it. I came up with the solution that I was only going to buy original cars. It had to be under 10,000 miles, and it had to have the original exhaust.
Ed's thinking was that if a vet had the original exhaust and very low original miles, there was much less chance that he'd again be led astray on a purchase. The result?
While it may sound like a pitch from a car salesman to say these are low-mileage used cars, believe me, these are low-mileage used cars.
I have a 8-mile 78 pace car, 1969 L88 with 6,000 original miles. This is a 1971 with 1,900 miles. This is a 1970 big block 454. And it has 1,100 miles on it. And this is 1956, and this has 2,200 original miles on it. The car is only at 1,300 miles, which makes it the lowest, as far as I know, and I believe it's documented, it's the lowest mileage 68 that exists. This is a 1996 Grand Sport with 160 miles on it. And this is a 1982 Collector's Edition with 6.9 miles on it.
See what I mean?
While the focus of this collection is low-mileage Corvettes, a separate building houses cars that are not necessarily low mileage, but rank as some of the rarest of the rare. They include this pair of 1971 LT1s. These big brake, big shock M22 transmission radio delete cars represent 25% of the entire production run of only 8 LT1s that year. His impressive collection of small block ZR1s, the last of the true muscle cars, includes this 1972 Hall of Fame Bloomington Gold Special Collections vet with a documented total of only 4 miles on the odometer. Other notable cars include the 27th Corvette to be manufactured, a near-perfect specimen first-year 53 convertible, and a forest green Fuelie Roadster that with only 1,577 miles is thought to be the lowest mileage original 65 vet in the world. The cars share space in this future private museum with unique elements of Americana, including a nostalgic look at a typical Sun Oil Company gas station front, and an enormous framed collection of autographs from every U.S. president. But everything Ed Foss has put together so far leads to the inevitable question.
Why Corvette? Well, you know what? It's American heritage. It's Star Spangled Banner and the national anthem all put together,
And with a collection of vets that is truly jaw-dropping, what could still make Ed Foss's pulse race?
Well, I think that I haven't found my special 66, and I haven't found my special 67. I know where a few are, but unfortunately they're not for sale.
Maybe the most revealing answer of all comes to the other most often asked question of Corvette collectors everywhere.
My favorite car, the last one I bought.
And we add our thanks to Ed Foss for going above and beyond to preserve the history of Corvette in grand style. Next, we head over to Ohio, where one of the country's best-known car dealers has more than a few deals of his own. But first, a few tips from the Buyer's Corner with Bloomington Gold's David Burrows.
I'm often asked, what do I look for when buying an automobile? And my answer is, well, it depends. If I'm doing some work for a client, what's that client's objective? Is it fun, just to have a fun driver? Or is it to get started and kind of maybe knowing more about Corvettes? Or is it really to being a collector and you want to buy something on the collector side? So however we answer that question will drive what it is we're looking for. But no matter what we look for, we can evaluate a Corvette kind of on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being high, in terms of its rarity. The more rare it is, the more it's going to be more expensive. Number 2, it's its authenticity. Has it been restored with inaccurate parts, or has it been repaired? What's its condition? Is it very, very nice like a show car would be, or is it more deteriorated? And last, does it have paperwork or a history that shows what the documentation of the car is? The more all those 4 things score a 5, the more likely it's going to be a collector car and much more high price. The more it scores on the one side, the lower price it's going to be, and could be in fact some trouble in terms of repairs and maintenance problems. So that's the way we start in overall evaluating a Corvette. I'm David Burrows in the Buyer's Corner, and remember, it's not how well you sell your Corvette, it's how well you bought it in the first place. See you next time.